Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be going over the ultimate weapon loadout to have in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024. Now a couple things have changed since the last time I made one of these videos, and I felt like it was a good time to update it. So at the very least, people would see that this is for 2024 and know that it is up to date and current and still the best. So anyways, we're going to go over what weapons you need in every single weapon slot category in GTA Online and why they are good weapons to have, what they do, and how good they are. If you enjoyed the video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, consider subscribing. If you guys are new, going for 300k this year, let's go ahead and get started with the melee category. Now within the melee category, of course, we have the stone hatchet. Now the stone hatchet is the best melee weapon by far because you get what is essentially Trevor's rage ability from story mode, allowing you to output much more damage while taking far less damage for a short time. Now this is activated by hitting somebody, whether it's a player or an NPC, with the stone hatchet and neutralizing them, and you can reactivate the ability or reset the timer or the cooldown by hitting another player or NPC shortly after. So as long as you keep hitting an NPC or a player, the ability will last for a lot longer. Think of it as kind of like Bullshark testosterone in a way, or Trevor's rage ability. It is basically the same thing as either of those, except activated by hitting players or NPCs. Now there is one exception for this, and that would be maybe for underwater. You might want like a knife or something like that, but chances are you're probably never going to get into any sort of underwater combat, so it really doesn't matter. Next up for the pistol category, the number one pistol you guys need to own in GTA Online is the Atomizer. The Atomizer is extremely useful and it can save your bacon a lot in this game when it comes to doing delivery missions or just driving around. Whenever you get stuck, the Atomizer will be your best friend because it can pretty much get any vehicle in the game unstuck from almost any position. I find it particularly useful for getting the nightclub Pounder custom unstuck from certain locations, because if you guys know, the front scoop on that thing likes to get caught on things and likes to get you stuck in places. And I use the Atomizer all the time to get that vehicle unstuck. Plus, it also does damage to players. You can boot people, you can, hit vehicles that are coming at you and knock them off track, off course, and out of the way of hitting you. So that's also really, really good. Now, another good pistol to have is the AP pistol. It is fully automatic and previously the best drive-by weapon in GTA Online, largely due to the relatively good size mag that holds 36 rounds. So that's pretty good. The AP pistol also has some attachments you can put on it, like the suppressor, the extended mag obviously, which is very, very important, and things like the flashlight. It's a really good pistol to have. It's very good in close quarters. It's very, lightweight, small, everything. You can move around really fast with it still. It's a great pistol, and I still think it's worth owning to this day, even though there is technically a new best drive-by weapon in GTA Online. And last but not least, I got a few comments on the last video telling me that the Heavy Revolver Mark II is another pistol that is worth mentioning, and I do agree. This thing will one-shot almost every NPC in GTA Online, and it will also one-shot a lot of players. And of course, due to the fact that it is a Mark II weapon, it does get access to special ammo types within the Mark II weapon workbenches. Now there is a free one of those. If you guys are interested, you can go to the Freak Shop and access a free Mark II weapon workshop. So do keep that in mind. You don't need to own one in any of your properties anymore. But yeah, the Heavy Revolver Mark II, it's pretty awesome. It does a lot of damage. You can one-shot cops with it. You can one-shot a lot of NPCs with it. If you hit chest and up, basically they're done for. It's not even close. So it's a really, really good weapon to have. Definitely something that I would recommend owning for sure if you guys don't have one already. Next up, within the SMG/LMG category, not much has really changed here. The Combat MG Mark II is still by far the best weapon in this entire category. It outputs the most damage out of any rifle in the game, or machine gun, things like that, towards players. I think it can kill a player in 8 shots, which is by far better than every other gun in the game, which is really cool. Shout out to Gilly Master for that testing, I believe that was. I saw a video a long time ago and I've remembered that ever since. I think it was Gilly Master, so shout out to him. But yeah, the Combat MG Mark II is awesome. Of course, being that it's a Mark II weapon, it does get access to a lot of different attachments, and what you're going to need to make it the most effective possible is of course the heavy barrel, the grip, the scope, and then whatever muzzle attachment you want. Now you can go with a suppressor, you can go for a muzzle brake of some sort, whatever you want to do is what you should do with it. And you definitely want the extended mag as well. The extended mag is pretty clutch on the Combat MG Mark II. This thing absolutely shreds. It's good against cops, it's good against players, it's good against pretty much whatever you're going to throw at it, or whatever enemies are going to throw at you. It's a really good weapon. It's very easy to control. It looks great. It's just generally really, really awesome. Now, the other weapon that I have in this category is the brand new tactical SMG, and it is by far the best new drive-by weapon, largely due to the fact that you can have a 60 round magazine on it, which is almost double that of the AP pistol. So you can shoot for a lot longer without having to reload, and particularly for those of you on controller where it's a little bit harder to aim while driving and shooting, doing drive-bys, this is going to come in clutch because you're going to have to reload way less often. Now, this is only available in the gun van at certain times, so you will have to pay attention to if this thing is available within the gun van during certain update weeks. It's definitely something that I would recommend. It's definitely a really good gun. It's good whether you're, doing drive-bys with it or you're using it on foot. Either way, it is a very, very good weapon to have, and you guys should 100% own one. Next up for the rifle category, we have the Special Carbine or the Special Carbine Mark II. Now, personally, I use the Special Carbine because I like that you can get it from any level. It's very cheap, coming in at about $14,000, and from level 1, you can have a weapon that has a 100 round drum magazine attached to it, which is one of the cool attachments that the regular Special Carbine gets. However, if you upgrade to the Mark II variant, you do not get access to that 100 round mag, but you do get to output a little bit more damage and get extra attachments and stuff like that to make the weapon generally handle a little bit better. But I think that if you're a lower level and you don't have Mark II weapons yet, or you're not a high enough level for a lot of other things in the game, I think the Special Carbine is a great gun because it does get that 100 round mag, as well as a plethora of other attachments and stuff like that. But when you get a little bit more established, you might want to upgrade to the Mark II. You can still get like a 60 round magazine with it, which is still pretty good. But I just think when you're a low level, having 100 rounds in a mag is very, very clutch for doing some of those early game missions and things of that nature. Overall, it's a really good gun, whether it's the Mark II or the Mark I variant. I don't really see any point in buying any of the other rifles in GTA Online unless you just simply like the look of them, and that's coming from somebody who really, really likes the Assault Rifle and the Assault Rifle Mark II, as well as the Carbine Rifle and Carbine Rifle Mark II. They're both awesome weapons, and so are all of the other ones for that matter. Like the M16 looking one too, it's really cool, but I think that the Special Carbine and the Special Carbine Mark II truly are the best. Now for the long range category, we have the Heavy Sniper Mark II, as I'm sure you probably expected. This is the highest damage outputting single fire gun in GTA Online. It does really, really well. It will one-shot most players, it will one-shot most NPCs as long as you hit, I'd say torso and up sort of thing. It's insanely good. Plus with the Mark II variant, you can put explosive rounds on it, incendiary rounds, and a bunch of other different kinds of rounds. Now you can also adjust the scope. I would recommend going for the advanced scope because it allows the furthest zoom. However, the thermal scope is really nice because you can toggle it on and off super, super fast, which is kind of nice. Now I would definitely recommend getting the barrel upgrade for it, as well as the muzzle brake upgrade. Those are going to make it a lot better, and I would also go for the extended clip as well, because I personally like to have a couple extra rounds in the mag. But if that's not your thing, the explosive rounds are pretty cool, and they will take out a lot of vehicles really easily, like jets and stuff like that. It will one-shot most of them, so that's pretty cool. Now, as kind of a runner-up for the long-range category, we have the Marksman Rifle, but this is kind of if you're a loser and you can't get the Heavy Sniper Mark II yet. Marksman Rifle spammers are just kind of really big nerds, and it's a shame because it's actually a really good weapon, but I feel bad even using it against NPCs because it's just so cheap. I respect the Marksman Rifle itself. I just don't respect the people who use it. However, I can't lie, it is a really good gun, and if you can't aim very well, then it might be a really good weapon for you if you're wanting to PvP. If you're going to use it against NPCs though, honestly it's fine. I don't mind at all. Go for it. But using it in PvP, I think it's pretty nerdy, if you ask me. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments about that. Marksman Rifle people are generally quite insecure, and they will be very upset about what I said. Within the shotgun category, we have a couple of different weapons. First up, we have the Pump Shotgun Mark II. This thing is really good because it fires explosive rounds, or it is upgradable to fire explosive rounds, I should say, which is crazy. This will blow up cars in one shot, albeit at a very, very short range, so do keep that in mind. But other than that, it is upgradable as well. It's really, really good against police, it's good against players, it's good against pretty much everything. The only real con is that you have to be like really close to use the Pump Shotgun Mark II. It's definitely not a long range weapon, as most shotguns aren't in video games generally, because I think they'd just be way too OP. But the Pump Shotgun Mark II is like super close range, so do keep that in mind for sure. Very, very excellent weapon, does a lot of damage, will take out players, NPCs, and everything like that in one shot almost every single time. It is a very, very good weapon. And for the runner-up in the shotgun category, what I think is truly the best overall shotgun in the game is, of course, the assault shotgun. This thing absolutely shreds, and it has pretty insane range given that it's a shotgun. And it's fully automatic, and you can put a 32 round drum mag on it. It's crazy. This thing outputs so much damage. You can clear a room with the assault shotgun faster than you can with like an RPG, damn near. Like, it's insane how efficient this shotgun is. It really is a lot of fun to use. It's satisfying. It's really cool. It's definitely something that I would look into. If you guys don't have an assault shotgun somehow already, you definitely got to change that. Next up in the heavy weapons category, we have the RPG. The RPG is obviously very good for taking out, you know, heavily armored vehicles, as well as lightly armored vehicles as well. If you can time it right, it's super effective. And if you're good with the RPG, like, you can do a lot with the RPG. It's actually very impressive how good this weapon can be. The rockets are a little bit slow on it, is the only real gripe that I have with it, and they do cost quite a bit of money. But beyond that, I mean, it's a really good weapon. You can't really go wrong with having an RPG. When you have it unlocked and available to you, I would definitely recommend going for it. Next up, we got the minigun. Now, the minigun is better than the Widowmaker, despite the Widowmaker being available like from level 1 or whatever, but now I believe it's an exclusive gun van weapon. I would always say to go for the minigun. It does do a little tiny bit more damage than the Widowmaker, and the minigun also does not shoot tracers into the sky. So if you're shooting at like jets or something like that, people aren't going to have a direct, you know, basically laser sight on your exact position so they know where to shoot a missile. Because I hate to tell you, but those missiles move a lot faster than you do when you're on foot, and especially when you're holding a Widowmaker. You're pretty much done for if you use a Widowmaker, especially at nighttime against aircrafts, whether they're helicopters or jets. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to live for much longer. The minigun is definitely a really good weapon though. It's great for just clearing out hordes of enemies and stuff like that. Definitely look into the minigun if you have it available to you, and if you don't, it's definitely something you should strive to get. Next up, of course, we have the homing launcher. Now, the homing launcher shoots missiles faster than the RPG does. However, it does have a reduced amount of damage that it does. Now, against NPCs, this won't be a problem. Against unarmored targets, this really won't be a problem either. However, if you're shooting a homing launcher at, say, an Insurgent Pickup Custom versus shooting an RPG, you're gonna have to shoot about 3 times as many homing missiles to take out that same Insurgent Pickup Custom. It takes 27 homing missiles and it only takes 9 RPGs. RPG is a little harder to hit because of those slower moving missiles, but the homing launcher does lose out in damage for sure. Against players though, and NPCs alike, it is very good. Now, the tracking also kind of sucks on it when you actually lock on, so I would only really recommend using it for actually just free firing. And how you're going to do that is just hold it out and press the trigger. Don't bother to aim in, because that's going to activate the lock on, and that is not going to lead you to anywhere successful. So do keep that in mind. Next up, of course, we got the railgun. Now, the railgun has become widely available in GTA Online. It's available at the gun van now during certain update weeks. So do keep that in mind and do pay attention to that if you do want the railgun. The railgun is extremely effective. It has a super fast firing projectile that is explosive, and it will one-shot police helicopters, it will one-shot cars, and it's pretty much hit scan. Like, it's pretty close. It feels almost like the sniper rifle to a degree. There's really not much bullet travel time involved, so that is pretty awesome. The railgun is a great weapon to have for sure. It's great for taking out police, it's great for taking out players, and everything in between. It's really, really good, guys. You should definitely have a railgun if you don't have one already. Definitely be on the lookout for it whenever it comes into the gun van next. Next up, we got the grenade launcher. Now, the grenade launcher is really good for just spamming grenades downrange. You can also shoot it from in cover, which is pretty awesome. And you can also bounce the grenades. So if there's somebody around a corner, for example, and you don't want to expose yourself to them, you can use the grenade launcher, bounce a grenade off the wall, and it will bounce and deflect into, you know, their approximate location. And if you get good at this, it can become really, really effective against players or NPCs alike. Either of them are going to suffer because of the grenade launcher, and if you get really good at it with your bounces and things like that, It's an awesome weapon to have. It takes, 10 shots before you have to reload, which is pretty awesome. It's a great weapon. And last but not least, within the heavy category, we have the compact grenade launcher that can be fired out of motorcycles. This thing is really, really useful for when you're in traffic and things like that. I believe it can only be fired out of motorcycles. I haven't come across any other vehicles that it can be fired out of, but it is a very, very good weapon. When it comes to taking out police ahead of you, maybe there's a police roadblock, you can shoot it at them, blow them up, and then by the time you get there, they'll be out of your way. It's very handy for things like that. The compact grenade launcher is just awesome. It's really good against players, really good against cops, NPCs, whatever you're going to be using it against, it's going to do well. It is a very, very handy weapon to have, and it's definitely something that I would recommend. Within the handheld category, our final category, we have sticky bombs. Sticky bombs, I think everybody knows, they're very good. You throw them and detonate them whenever you want. When you're in a vehicle, they also get much faster when you throw them, depending on the speed that your vehicle's traveling. If you're going forward, say, and you're throwing them forward, they are going to absolutely launch. So if there's a helicopter coming at you, if there's an oppressor coming at you, you can generally take them out pretty easily with sticky bombs. This is definitely something that I really enjoy doing. Whenever I do it, it feels so good. You get so satisfied by doing this. It's awesome. And sticky bombs are just generally a really good thing to have. If you want to, blow up your friends, if you want to blow up an enemy player, they're just awesome. You can put them on the front of a car, load them into a car, drive a car at somebody, jump out, let the car go, and then just blow it up. It's super fun. It's super, super fun, and you guys should definitely try this out. Sticky bombs are awesome. They're very good to have. Definitely something that I recommend. Now, I would also recommend grenades for the same reason as the grenade launcher. You can bounce these and use them to take out targets that you otherwise would not be able to. For example, if you're standing on the top of a building and you can find a ledge that's over top of a player that is standing below, you can simply bounce the grenade off the ledge. It will drop down to the ground and blow up at the player's feet. This is really handy. I've actually done this a few times in PvP. It's good against police as well and things like that. Definitely something that I would recommend having grenades for and just making sure to keep them on you. Of course, you can also throw them out of vehicles and stuff like that, but I feel like their general best use is to be, bounced and used, kind of tactically like that, if that makes sense. And last but not least, of course, we have proximity mines. Proximity mines are really awesome for holding down a particular location. Say you're camping on a rooftop versus a 5-star wanted level. You can put down a proximity mine on the ladder where the police are going to crawl up. When they get to the top, they're going to blow up. That's going to alert you to the fact that the police are there. You can go and place another one. Go and take care of all the police that are on the ladder or climbing up the stairs, whatever it may be. Proximity mines are definitely a really good friend. If you're getting chased as well, you can throw them behind you, and eventually whoever's behind you is going to run it over and probably blow up. If not, a person in traffic is going to be near them and blow up, and maybe they'll blow up the other person as well, or they'll at least get in the way. Proximity mines are super handy. I feel like they're actually a really underrated and underutilized part of GTA Online when it comes to PvP and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that I would recommend looking into and making sure that you have 10 of them available at all times, because they truly are very useful. So guys, there you have it. That has been it for the ultimate weapon loadout in GTA Online in 2024. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think I missed any particular weapons. Consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new and you enjoy my content. I'm making a lot more really good videos like this. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.